Oh, I do like to be beside the seed tray. I do like to be beside my seeds. Down to serious business, we're here to talk about seeds today. So we've had an exceedingly good idea that we're going to talk all about seeds, because everyone's talking about seeds and all the seed suppliers have sold out of seeds because everyone's buying seeds because they think that all the food's going to run out and they're going to need their seeds to turn into vegetables that came from seeds and make more seeds for next year. So today is all about seeds. So you saw all the empty shelves on social media, so you went to your local supermarket to try and panic buy some vegetables and you realised that there weren't any left. So probably your next step was to go and try and buy some seeds, because it's time to have a revolution in growing vegetables. And you've probably now found yourself with about 15 different varieties of pumpkin, 75 different tomato varieties, 52 cucumbers and so on. The real question is, where are you going to keep them? Option 1, your damp tool shed. No, do not store your seeds in the damp tool shed, they will rot. And it's not the place for them, okay? So let's go on to option 2. Option 2, your messy garage shelves. No, not in the garage, because A, you'll probably lose them in amongst your mess, and B, mice will probably come in and eat them unless you have a very, very good mousing cat. Option 3, storing seeds in your greenhouse. No, don't store seeds in your greenhouse, because firstly, it's too hot, it's too humid, light degrades packaging materials, and then things can get in your seeds and eat them, those little munchy squirrels that come into ours. And lastly, this might be unique to us, but there's other objects in here, such as old bras. And we'll come back in a later episode as to why Carmen keeps old bras in our greenhouse. Next. Glove box of your 1998 Volvo estate. No, I don't think so. I mean, there's hazards in here. Your old jazz tapes, maybe some extra strong mints, and an old film. It's not the place for seeds. This is much more the kind of place you need for your seeds. Dark, cool, not damp, not hot. So one of the things to consider, and that we always get wrong, and probably most people do until their 70th year of growing, is how many seeds you actually need for the size of crop you want, because everyone grows for an army. So it's worth paying attention to how many seeds there are in the pack. Of course, the one I've picked up doesn't say, but this is squash seeds. So normally in a packet of squash seeds, this is a brand new virgin pack. Let's see how many we got. Not loads, but that is, if you think that each one of those, if that becomes a squash plant, you've got almost a dozen plants there that will probably produce a dozen squash. So that's a damn lot of squash. This is the contents of a seed packet of carrots. And as you can see, there's hundreds of seeds in here, so that pack will probably last us 2 years of growing, I imagine. We normally do 2 different varieties of carrots each year, just to mix it up. So yeah, it's just worth considering how much space you've got and how much you want to grow. Courgettes are definitely one of the most satisfying plants to grow in your first year of growing. But just remember that from 2 plants of courgettes, you will get dozens and dozens of courgettes. So this pack probably had about 15 seeds in. Again, this will do us 2 years probably, so we'll do 2 or 3 courgette plants probably, and that will see us right through. We'll be sick of them, we'll be souping them, we'll be stewing them, we'll be hitting the neighbours with them. I don't encourage that, by the way. So yeah, go easy on the courgettes, maybe a couple of plants. Probably the thing not to do is to try and buy every single vegetable that you've ever bought in the supermarket. Brassicas are a good example. That includes things like broccoli, cauliflowers, cabbages, kale. So they're great to grow, but again, one of these packets, broccoli, it's going to have hundreds of seeds in, and they actually take up a lot of space in your allotment or your garden. So again, these are tiny seeds. They look like the size of a mustard seed, and each of those plants, that's probably going to need sort of 2 foot either side of it once it gets bigger. So again, maybe pick your favourite 2 to try in your first year. Or any year, because you've got to cover them as well, because the pesky white butterflies. Oh, I hate them so. Let's see what else we've got in here even. Parsnips, parsnips, Florence fennel, sweet corn, climbing beans and kale. Kale, kale, cauliflower, calabrese, most people call it broccoli. And another thing to consider, as well as not buying too many different types of seed, is how long your seeds are going to last. So ordinarily, when you buy a pack of seeds, it's going to last you this year and probably the next growing season as well. So for example, this packet of squash that I keep in my cat, Squash Blue Ballet, favourite of mine, we bought this about a month ago, and it's sowed by March 2021. Might last a bit longer, might not, it's all luck of the draw. I remember as a boy when I'd go to the theatre to go and see Mother Goose, the wonderful ice creams that you get in the intervals, and the tray would always come out, you know, sort of strapped on to the kind vendor of the ice cream, and you get your little pot and it was never big enough. Unlike our seed box here, which is plenty big enough because we've hoarded loads of seeds in here. I recommend you do not do this.
Chris.
Let's talk about scale. So one packet of carrots will probably do about 2 rows in this bed. This bed is about 5 metres wide, and the carrots will be spaced probably about this far away. Seeing as we were talking about carrots, I just actually noticed an old carrot. So let's have a look. It's nearly the end of March. Let's see what this one looks like. He actually looks all right, but one thing you'll see is at this time of year he's gone a bit woody. Yeah, look at all those little dark bits around the edge. I mean, probably if times get really tough, I'd eat that, but right now I'll just use it to scare the cat with. Oh, Harry, it's okay. Harry. Yeah. Back to the potting shed. The seeds are all tucked up in bed, ready for their little story about what they will become in all of your beds this year. It's exceedingly strange times in the world. No better time than now to plant a seed. It's exceedingly strange times in the world. You'll feel better if you plant some seeds. Choose your little packets on the internet. Get your bags of compost too. Spread it all around in a little tray. Oh, there's nothing much more to do than put your seeds in the soil, my friends, and watch them grow if you water them every day and keep them in the appropriate conditions depending on the variety. And then in a few months' time you'll be eating all the ripe produce from your seeds.
Techno mix.
Tennis songs don't have lyrics. Oh God.